Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and happy Friday the 13th, and I'm here to welcome you guys back to yet another installment of At the Movies. I just got back from seeing one of probably the most, one of the most more anticipated action movies of the 2010 summer season, and I'm talking about the testosterone-filled, action-packed film, The Expendables. Now, I realize it's a little late to get this review, up on my YouTube channel. I mean, it did come out today, but I actually have a funny story for you guys. It's actually a really fucking terrible story. I went to go see this movie Thursday at a midnight screening, and, I went to a Lowe's, and around 12:30, which is around the time that the previews should be ending, they never even started. There was massive technical problems. There was an overly crowded and very drunk crowd that I was sitting in, and, the film didn't even get started until about a little after 1 a.m. So by that time, I had just kind of had enough of the crowd and, just the wait time, so I just, kindly asked the staff of Lowe's to give me a readmission ticket for, tonight, so that I could go back. So that's the reason why I didn't have, this movie up earlier than I wanted to, but here I am to give you guys my full-fledged review on The Expendables. So, this film actually deals with a group of mercenaries that go to South America to overthrow a dictator. That's basically the plot of the story. Now, the special thing about this film is not only is it written and directed by Sylvester Stallone of course, Rocky and Rambo fame, and tons of other ass-kicking 80s action movies, but it also stars, for the first time, a really great powerhouse action star cast, including the likes of Jason Statham, Jet Li, Terry Crews, Dolph Lundgren, Mickey Rourke, Eric Roberts, in addition to the female likes of Charisma Carpenter. Now, this film was really fucking cool. I mean, I was following the progress of this film ever since it got announced, and I was really, really excited about it because it's the first time for Stallone, at least, to sink his teeth into something that not only did he co-write and direct, but it's something that for the first time that he was getting into doing the dual duties of writing and directing. That wasn't something Rocky or Rambo related. Now, of course, he did do one other directorial duty that wasn't related to Rocky or Rambo, and that, of course, was the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive. But this is really his true triumphant return to something that wasn't really based upon another famous character. This was a completely original concept from the imagination and, wonderfully directed by Sly Stallone. Now, the film overall just really worked on a number of levels, and this is the kind of action film that I've been waiting to see for such a fucking long time. I mean, I don't know what it is with this generation of action films. I don't know if it's just the legs of the studios hiring, slick, fast-cutting music video directors to, bring a new style or, a new voice to the action film of this generation, but whatever, is going on, it's really not working, and it's, missing the target, not really making as big of an impact as the action films of, the 1980s. Now, Sylvester Stallone really understands this. He understands his place in society, and I certainly don't mean that as a bad thing, because before I actually, go into the detail about my point, it's not that Sylvester Stallone, it knows his place in society and he's not afraid to move from his macho man, action star status. He is actually very capable of branching out and acting. I mean, he's a really well-talented guy. I mean, he's not just this action persona. He's a really talented writer, great director, and, action. He's not just limited to action. He's very capable of handling drama, as seen in the Rocky films, as well as many other films. But he is a very smart guy. I mean, he certainly knows his role and knows that he is best known for his action starring roles, and let's be honest, he's fucking great at them, and it's, even more obvious that he has a great time making them and participating in them. So I think taking that into account, I think he probably took into account and knows that there was definitely a lack of something really special in action movies missing these days. So who better to bring it back, to just simplicity and, something great than, one of the best action stars, of this time, that being Sylvester Stallone. So I think, in saying that he knows his role, he understands the action genre to a T, and he just developed this wonderfully, action-packed concept and decided to unveil it on audiences for this generation, just really showing people how it has to be done. And I think that's wonderful that, he can just come back and do something as great as he did. I mean, the action in this is just something that's been lacking, like I said, so much in action films for this society. I mean, you have really awesome, warfare, hand-to-hand combat, machine guns blaring, incredible knife work, and just, like, great martial arts in this. I mean, it is just really, it's really just a guy's movie. I mean, it's really an action-packed, ass-kicking guy's movie that guys have been wanting to see forever. Not to discourage women. I'm sure audiences across the board will really enjoy this movie, but this is really just like a dude's movie. This is like the dude's movie that people have been waiting for some time now. Now, moving on, I just want to get something completely out of the way. As, seen in many of the trailers, there is a scene involving, the two other big heavyweight action stars of the 1980s, that being Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis. Please, please don't go into this film thinking that they are a major part of the cast, because I'm here to tell you, without giving any, any bit of the plot away, too much of the plot away or anything, heavy about the movie, they're not in it that much. I mean, other than that scene, that's all they're in it. So you're looking at probably 5 minutes of screen time, so don't go into it thinking that this is Schwarzenegger and a Bruce Willis movie. No, it's really Sylvester Stallone and really the new school of, action stars for this generation, with the exception, of course, of, actors like Dolph Lundgren and Mickey Rourke. But, yeah, if you're going into it thinking that, those two actors are going to have a big part of it, get that out of your head right away. The scene is really cool and really awesome to see, because believe it or not, that is actually, The Expendables is the first time in film history that all three of those actors have been on screen together in a film. So, for that reason alone, it is pretty cool, but it's not something that you're going to be seeing these characters in. I hope to fucking God that, in, a hopeful Expendables sequel, we see, Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis in a more prominent role, but until then, you're just going to have to settle for the 5-minute scene that you see in this film right now. If there's any quarrels that I actually have with this movie, it's really tough to say, because I really did find myself enjoying it a whole hell of a lot, but, just, my personal opinion and personal taste, like I said, it really is Sylvester Stallone headlining this cast, and of course, he, by a lot of people's standards, he is still a very prominent action star, but he is definitely, a big action star from a bygone era. I mean, he's really surrounded, his team is really surrounded by the likes of more of the new school generation of action stars, such as Jason Statham and Jet Li and stuff like that. And not that I've really ever had a major gripe about them, I'm just not the biggest fans of their work. I mean, if I really had more of a preference, I would have really enjoyed The Expendables just a pinch more if he was surrounded by a bunch, just entirely of, well, not exactly entirely, because I do think Jet Li and Jason Statham and people like Randy Couture and Terry Crews, of course, did a really good job being his supporting cast, but I would have liked a really split cast of more people of old school, action stars like Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme, but that's just a minor gripe. That's just my personal taste. I would have really enjoyed seeing more 80s action stars alongside Sylvester Stallone, because really, how many times and how often are you going to get a powerhouse cast like that, in the event that this film doesn't do as well as it's going to be? Although I think that this is going to be a really big box office smash, so I think the likelihood of seeing a sequel is probably inevitable. But, some interesting notes to say is that Jean-Claude Van Damme was actually originally offered a role, but he apparently turned it down because he thought that his character lacked substance. I think that's kind of weak. I mean, it's really cool that he sticks by his standards by thinking that, the character didn't have much substance, but he really should have just, gone for broke on this and just had fun with Sylvester Stallone, because this, having Jean-Claude Van Damme in it would have just added to the cast and been really cool. Furthermore, Wesley Snipes was actually offered the role that Terry Crews eventually got, but Snipes couldn't take it because of tax problems, and it went through other casting decisions like Forrest Whitaker and 50 Cent before deciding ultimately on Terry Crews. Now, overall, this is an incredibly action-packed, kick-ass movie that I think everybody should get out to the theaters this weekend and see. It's a really, really awesome movie, and I look forward to seeing an Expendables sequel, and I really hope to be, seeing the Expendables turn into the next great action franchise of this generation. So, I just want to, not only being Friday the 13th, this is actually my 1-year anniversary of being on YouTube. So with well over 100 videos and plenty more to come, I just want to take this opportunity to, with over 300 subscribers and counting, I just want to thank all of you guys for the tremendous support. It's been an amazing time keeping this YouTube channel up, and stay tuned because there are plenty of more surprises coming along the way. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. This is Frightener22.